Wonderful to see you come back, and some come that haven't been here before. While you're arriving, I'll say a few words about the Joy Keepers Network. Um, and I go completely blank because I'm just filled with joy in this moment. And that's not something that I have many words for, but it's a frequency, a beautiful feeling and frequency that we all are connected to, whether we know it or not. And when we remember it and when we don't remember it, it's always with us. Joy is always with us. But still, we are human and we have a lot going on in all kinds of ways. And there are many times during a day when we forget that. And the Joy Keepers Network was founded some seven years ago to support us and each other and everyone else in restoring our natural connection with joy and to keep that connection as our foundation and our leading light. And we do it in different ways. We have a Facebook group. We have monthly cafes like the one we had yesterday. And sometimes we have other things going on, such as these 7 days of joy. We also started sharing on Soulivity Today show, which you will experience tomorrow. And most of all, so there are different ways in which we can inspire and support each other in this connection with joy. And what it does is that as each of us connects deeper and stronger with joy, we become a joy connection for other people too. Joy resonates. So when we are in joy, we help other people feel their joy too and find their joy too. So that's what we're all about. And today we have a very special experience for you. And Sheila will tell us a little bit more about it.
Thank you, Helena. All right. I'm excited about today's because we're bringing out our childhood wonder and allowing ourselves to be led by that inner creative magic. So today we're focusing on joy and nature's dreaming. And we have, in our heads at least, created a most seamless, beautiful experience for you. And we're hoping that it turns out that way. But if not, then that's all part of the process. So Helena, which you know, Helena Goldstein and Franny Bryant Scott, and I will all be reading poems. Helena and Franny are both poets, and they'll be reading some of their own poetry. I will be reading another author. And Lizette is here. Lizette Morris is here today to sing for us. She's got an incredible voice and she's going to add to the magic. So when we begin, we're just going to hopefully just seamlessly go from one to the next. And so that you have this experience that you can give yourself over to, because it's not just the individual poems and songs, but the flow that we want to take on a journey. So we asked you to bring some supplies, and even if you didn't, if you have a pen or a piece of paper, that'll be fine. But you know, if you brought your markers and your paper, we're going to ask you to doodle, which is just, you know, kind of thoughtlessly, kind of just letting your imagination, just as you're feeling the experience, let your pen to paper or your paints or whatever you're using, just let yourself, without thinking about it, just kind of draw or scribble whatever comes into your mind and play with it. Just picturing it like, you know, when you hand some young children crayons and they just go at it and they create this fun adventure of the act itself. And we're asking you to do that all on one piece of paper, but at the same time, we want you to follow your intuition and your inspiration. So if you need to change papers, If you want to use words, you can use words. Whatever the creative flow expression of it is for you. And then afterwards, we love for people if they want to share the experience or share our doodles and kind of point out what it was like to go through the experience. That is how we are going to go through this process. I guess we've also decided that all of us will be taking our camera off during this process. So it's not about us, but about your inner journey. So we're going to remove ourselves from the process as much as possible and let you just experience it. And it's going to be about 20, 25 minutes of the journey, and then we'll have some time to chat after about that. So before I turn my camera off, I'm just going to show you, I've chosen to read from a childhood poet, a poet for children that I always love. So bringing in the wonder of the child to start this off, and then I'll just read my poem from there. Let us begin. So these are all by Shel Silverstein. Invitation. If you are a dreamer, come in. If you are a dreamer, a wisher, a liar, a hoper, a prayer, a magic bean buyer, if you're a pretender, come sit by my fire, for we have some flax golden tales to spin. Come in, come in. Magic. Sandra's seen a leprechaun, Eddie's touched a troll, Lori danced with witches once, Charlie found some goblin's gold. Donald heard a mermaid sing, Susie spied an elf, but all the magic I have known, I've had to make myself. Hug-a-war. I will not play at tug-a-war, I'd rather play at hug-a-war, where everyone hugs instead of tugs, where everyone giggles and rolls on the rug, where everyone kisses and everyone grins, and everyone cuddles, and everyone wins. Colors. My skin is kind of sort of brownish, pinkish, yellowish white. My eyes are grayish, bluish green, but I'm told they look orange in the night. My hair is reddish, blondish brown, but it's silver when it's wet. And all the colors I am inside have not been invented yet. Where the sidewalk ends. There is a place where the sidewalk ends and before the street begins. And there the grass grows soft and white. And there the sun burns crimson bright. And there the moonbird rests from its flight to cool in the peppermint wind. Let us leave this place where smoke blows black and the dark street winds and bends. Past the pits where the asphalt flowers grow, we shall walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and watch where the chalk white arrows go to the place where the sidewalk ends. Yes, we'll walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and we'll go where the chalk white arrows go. For the children they mark, and the children they know the place where the sidewalk ends. Forgotten language. Once I spoke the language of the flowers. Once I understood each word the caterpillar said. Once I smiled in secret at the gossip of the starlings and shared a conversation with a housefly in my bed. Once I heard and answered all the questions of the crickets and joined the crying of each falling, dying flake of snow. Once I spoke the language of the flowers. How did it go? How did it go?
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world can live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you care. No need for greed or hunger, a brotherhood of men. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world can live as one.
Horizons. I don't know why I am on the move. I just am. I wish I could take the starry sky down like a map, lay it in front of me, show myself the path and the meaning. But it's not where stars are meant to be, or the sky for that matter. And so, as morning approaches, I am going away with no directions, but guessing it will be where earth and heaven meet at the end of the day. Is that not what we all hope for? Or are the horizons, as we know them, meant to keep us in motion? My old companion, the wind, is everywhere and closer to the truth. How will it be when everything finds everything? Where the light inside is the light outside? Where there is no past to imagine the future? Where I can stand and smile and wait for the horizon to come to me. between the mountains, between the mess and the light of life, there is a valley. There, stream by stream, I become river, passing landscapes like veils, falling off behind me as I fall to become sea. Foresting into the wild green unknown, sun entwining with branches, new and broken, the good rot rising from the ground, the disappearing in the mist, I unknown, not unseen, being led out of bewilderment into the grace of the wild, encircling everything home. New Year's Eve. In the darkness of the late evening, alone in my modest home, I fill pages with words and then forget words and everything else. My life couldn't be much smaller, and yet it is here I find the greatness of the world and the beyond the world. Billions of lives and winds, and in them hearts and wings, and all the time something new emerges and something else disappears. All I know is what is to be known, nothing, and yet more than nothing. More than all the hands and roots holding on to the planet, and global conflicts and hurricanes and despair. So much dying, and still we do not see what is real, what is grace. I could turn on all the lights. I could burn scented candles. I could play music and pray all night long. But it is the new year, and in the waiting before the fireworks, it whispers for me to stay and watch and love what I get to see.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors by, also on the faces of people walking by. I see friends shaking hands, saying how do you do, and they're really saying I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll know much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Swallows at Ilingus Cove. Flash, forked tail flip, blue swooping dip, over the bluer deep, swallows sweep, low and dart climb dive, while earth-rooted I, shore-bound and stumbling, soul singing to the tumbling, chorus in a cave of sounds, staccato stones, sharp crackle and tap, in the hush and hiccup of deep breathing seas. The Alchemy of Iron and Stone, or How to Walk on Ancient Ground. Step through and stumble on the tumbled rocks, lichen-limed, that line the narrow footpath between ancient boundary walls. Caress the old stones, the shapes. This one was a millstone, that a threshold, there a food trough. And then they were a wall. And then rubble in a field. And again a wall. Today, shaded by oaks, they shift under your feet. Walls, rubble, millstones, thresholds all. Spy the ruin behind the iron fence. That is to say, behind the iron that was a bed frame, then a grape trellis, then a gate. Who can say what is the ruin in a land that knows how to use everything forever? Tiny orchids bloom between the rocks. Know that your ancestors too were iron and stone, strong enough to last, to weather, to change, treasured enough to understand, to move aside when oaks and orchids need a place to root. You, the offspring of bed frames, of millstones and rubble and walls, shall you become next a gate, or a trellis, threshold, or a path? Winter blessing. Let winter bring you the gift of a tempo other than tapping impatience for spring. No need, just yet, for her wild, breezy whirl and reel. For now, let yourself tread a snowshoe pace through drift, quiet pines. No wind to unsettle the huddled hawk from its branch, or your mind from deeper attention. January's dance is languid, a midnight lean of body on body, of strong brown roots lying quiet across the land, drinking deep. Can you feel on your cheek the slow twitch of Mother Bear's ear in sleep? In your heart, the quiet inching growth as beneath the soil seeds dream. And this is The Storm by Mary Oliver. Now, through the white orchard, my little dog romps, breaking the new snow with wild feet, running here, running there, excited. Hardly able to stop, he leaps, he spins, until the white snow is written upon in large, exuberant letters, in a long sentence, expressing the pleasures of the body in this world. Oh, I could not have said it better.
It was beautiful, everyone. Thank you for everyone who shared. So we would love to hear any experience that you had that you want to share. Either in the chat. I feel like we're bringing people back kind of from a meditation. So I'm feeling, so I'm giving you a gentle joining here, but feel free to share in the chat or raise your hand if you'd like to share your experience and or your image, your doodle.
All right, I'll share. That was fun. I haven't done anything like that in a while, just playing and listening to all the beautiful words. And I chose some materials that I haven't used in years. And what popped into my head right at the beginning was the meditation we had, I don't know which day, but about the fire with the colors. And that's what started, and then I just doodled. So I don't know how it'll come up on the picture. That's it.
A journey on the page.
I love that. Beautiful. Thank you, Julian.
Well, first of all, I just want to really thank you all for creating this beautiful space. I'd never done doodling to live poetry and music before, and I just feel like it was really a gift of all of you to do that for us. So thank you so much for that. And especially Lizette, like I just started crying every time you sang. It was just so moving to hear you, and the choice of music was very moving for me. And I didn't get very far because I started coloring in very detailed. That's like a starry sky that was inspired by Helena's poem. And then the rest of it is just one big. And then there's a rainbow that was started by the second song. Wonderful.
Beautiful.
Perfect doodling.
Well, doodling's always perfect, right?
Exactly. But even the beginning and stopping is part of it, isn't it? I love it. Thank you for sharing. Tove?
Yeah, thank you for this. Everything beautiful. So I will share what I scribbled down. I don't know if you can see. I did on the big paper. See what the cameras?
Ah, yeah. I love it.
I just put down what I felt, whatever was said and sung, yeah, without knowing why I did it.
Beautiful.
I'm so grateful I could be here today, since I couldn't two of the other days. So I was like, oh, I have to make it today. So I'm really happy. This week has been, I just have to share with everyone. This week, I feel high on life. It's done so much for me with the work I've done, like afterwards thinking and dreaming, and I just feel fabulous.
That's awesome. Thank you,
Wonderful.
Robin.
Thank you.
I can share mine. I am absolutely not a drawer, just so everybody knows. So I drew a lot. It's just a lot of scribbles, but I drew hearts. I had some words that came out like timeless and ancient and wander and friendship and journey. And then I also have like people, I have the world surrounding the whole thing. So, I mean, a lot of scribbles, highs and lows, but then, some hearts that came to me. The dots were people and the lines were people together and togetherness. And so totally unlike everybody else's. I know, I'm so sorry. But
But it's beautiful.
Right.
but it just like, because when I scribble, I kind of like, I scribble, but then, so yeah, so that was that, but I like how it came out at the end, because I didn't know, I just kind of started and then it turned into a picture. So,
Very cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
and thank you to everybody who did that. It was beautiful. Very centering.
Well, I totally enjoyed all of the poetry reading and the song. Wow. I'm not a doodler, but I do like to play around with color and card making and whatnot. So I ended up bringing out my brayer and just using my brayer. So it's just, I'll eventually probably use them for the back of a card. But this one in particular, I don't know, a lot of greens and reds and oranges, just whatever color spoke to me at whatever I was listening to. And then this one is more reds and grays. Not sure why, but these are what came out for me. I don't know, it was just wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Those are really cool. I like them.
We have some comments in the chat. I love it all. Not done this before. I came up with one bit from each, like an arrow, mountain, and scribble. Love the cards. Love it, the cards. Beautiful pastiche. So, and Franny says, I love seeing what everyone has come up with. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah. I think we all feel that. It's amazing.
I can share mine.
Oh, you've been doodling too.
I
Wow.
doodled from the time I got, afterwards I was like, oops, I hope nobody was in the waiting room, because I got very into it. So it was interesting to me. I can just put up. And it was like, I just started, and then I would draw something, and then it would come up in the poem, like just a doodle, and then the poem, like this one especially, I just had started over here with just some squiggly lines, and then wind came up in the poem, then the next lines of the poem, and I'm like, oh, I just drew wind over there. So I had a lot of fun, and I was surprised at how many times that happened. I think because especially after I did the opening of our creativity with Shel Silverstein, so much flowed together with that. I would start one thing, like have one feeling, and then see it come in the next poem and song, and they all just sort of flowed. And so I didn't expect my picture or my doodle to flow. I don't usually like fill up a piece of paper or have things connect. So that was new for me.
Thank you. Barbara says it was amazing seeing all the pictures. Thank you. I'm so I'm so at awe with this field of creativity, because really we kind of started something and we had no idea what would happen. It was, we were taking a risk there, but with good people, all of us, right? And all of everyone who is here, and it really is this feeling that of co-creation, that some read and sing and draw, but it's the same field. Um, uh, Yesterday in the Jerky Biz Cafe, we were talking about this feeling of connection, and today it's like it's multiplied. It's even more. It's so amazing. I mean, we're all over the world. There are oceans between us, and this is happening. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. Franny just commented, creative risk equals play.
Ah,
And Susan Slate said, feels to me and looks to me that all the artwork flows together in unity and connection. Yeah,
yeah.
it sure does.
Here we have a cat visiting.
Yeah, I just want to share. My cat was really into this, like wanting to walk on the paper, unusually so. So she's loving the energy.
Fun. I was just reading Lauren, who said, already shared, but want to mention that today is my mother's birthday. Oh, she loved Shel Silverstein. And so the Shel reading was lovely way to feel her presence.
Oh,
You know what? I'm so happy to hear that, because right from the beginning, even though we were focused on nature, I kept thinking I should look for other ones, but all I could hear was read Shel Silverstein the whole time, no matter what I tried to do. So there was a part of me saying, why do I need to do this so much? So I'm sure maybe it was for other reasons too, but Lauren, your mom is definitely saying hello. I love that.
beautiful.
I want to say also to that one, my mom loved Shel Silverstein too. And so the whole time I was preparing, I was thinking of my mom.
Hmm. Everything and everyone connects. Yeah.
Anyone else feeling that they want to share either from your doodle or from your experience, or just because something's come to mind?
Always sending hearts in different colors. It's nice. I have to say this one thing is that we all have this, oh, I'm not really a poet, I'm not really a drawer, I'm not really a doodler, and we have all our insecurities, but creativity and nature really don't care. They just express themselves through us, and isn't that a wonderful experience, just to do it, just to play with it, just forget all the measuring and the comparing. and just enjoy this flow of creativity. I think I'm going to listen to the replay and then I will doodle, which I have said on camera before I never do, but now I'm saying I will.
So now everyone knows which one of us decided we were going to doodle today.
Yes, thank you for that, Sheila. And Ayana says, I am really just so grateful and without words. Yeah.
And I saw your daughter, I think your child or your daughter was doing it too. That's fine.
Yeah, she was. Oh, sweet.
I think, do we feel complete? Or is there more thoughts?
Maybe people just want to go back to the play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how fun. She was helping your doodles. Patty said a lot of emotions were brought up with the songs and poems, and I need to process that. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Patty, for sharing how you're feeling right now.
Mm.
I honor you for for being in that space. It's beautiful. I was just going to say, so if you're not connected, I think everyone would have been introduced to it by now, but on Facebook, we do have the Joy Keepers group. So feel free to process over there afterwards as well. And also, if you feel like posting your pictures up there or your doodles up there, that would be fun too. Randy says, if I were not in the back seat of a car that is driving down the highway, I would definitely have been drawing. And that's great. Franny had to hit the road because of a storm coming, which she wasn't very far away from me when it happened. So I'm going to look at the weather and get done with it.
I'm so grateful the weather didn't come in the way of Franny's sharing.
It could be something, yeah. Suzanne said, I somehow thought the doodling would come after the experience, deep meditation and joy. Oh, that's neat too. Listening to these opened my heart beautifully, and a few aspects of my own writing linked into yours. Beautiful. And yeah, if you can always doodle it later, or that's part of the fun of the replay. And I think we did it quite seamlessly. Don't you?
Yeah. There's another message. Thank you all for connecting all around. Loved the reading, singing, and the doodles, and truly the word joy was all I could create all over the page. Maybe you will share it in the Facebook group. It would be sweet if you feel like it.
And Toby suggests we make a post so that we can, like, we start a post so that people can post on.
Good idea. Yeah. Yeah.
Good idea.
Oh, I would love it if we all met again with time to share more on Zoom, if possible.
Well, we do meet on the 24th. We meet on the 4th. Well, there is a cafe, but people could share during the cafe. You could bring your things to the cafe if you want. So similar to what we did yesterday, we do on the 4th Wednesday of every month. And we're continuing to do that on this coming, well, the 24th, it'll be.
24th, yeah.
And yes, people are happy to bring their things and share that because it's a cafe.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny, I had that thought today before we started that maybe we could, that this could happen, things like that could happen in the cafe too. We will see.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun. So if you haven't, if you haven't been to a cafe, I think you just need to sign up for that link, right? Once.
Yeah, with actually, if you're now all members of the Joy Keepers Network, and the Zoom to the cafe we send to all members with the newsletter, so you don't even have to sign up for it.
Awesome, that's super easy.
But by the way, if you have, not necessarily now, but in general, if you have any ideas of what we would like to see happening in the Joy Keepers Network, we would love to know that. There's been so much inspiration this week, so maybe it's a new beginning for us too. Who knows? Next version.
Yeah. And then tomorrow is our last of the 7 days. Can you believe it? And we're gonna tomorrow we're gonna be having, you might not, if you saw it, you might be like, what is a solidity discussion? Because I think that's what we called it, right? So I am one of the regular co-hosts on Solidity Today, which is a podcast and radio show. And Helena has been joining us at least once a month. We've done a show with Helena and Brian, who is the host, Brian Wesley Johnson, and myself. And so tomorrow he'll be joining us. I assume he was traveling this week, so I'll make sure hopefully the plane comes in.
Otherwise, you will channel him.
Otherwise, it'll be Helena and I talking about joy in the intimate connection. What is the exact title? Do you know? Helena?
It is joy and intimate relationship with the infinite. Intimate relationship with the infinite. It kind of sounds complicated, but we're going to make it about our experiences, our real life personal experiences. And so it won't be like a theory of infinity or anything like that. It will be almost practical.
Divinely practical.
Yeah, yes, it will, yeah, like that. It will be divinely practical and for sure inspiring. And as always, there will be a little space for sharing, but also a special ending. I don't know if I should say something about it or
You
not.
can, because you can. I was going to ask you if you remembered we had said we were going to do that. So.
Yeah, because Sheila was inspired and guided to end our session tomorrow with the meditation. That would be like the last thing. And I think it's so beautiful. You have experienced our meditations several times now, different versions of it, and it's been so special, this journey. So I think it's wonderful that tomorrow we can talk, and we will, and explore, and then there will be the meditation as our final connection during these 7 days. So this too is something to look forward to.
The meditation is our practical application of our conversation.
Yeah.
Divinely practical.
Yeah. Divinely practical. Yes. Well, this was a divine experience to be able to be with you all, and all of us sharing.
I love this from Susan. Thank you for giving us freedom to experience joy this week. The pets are happy we are waking up. All the pets are showing up. Barbara's pets there too, right? Yeah. Thank you. And all the contact links to learn and explore more with Lizette and with Franny are in your emails as well.
Definitely. Well, I guess it's time for all of us to unmute and say goodbye, and
see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Good to see you all. Thank you.
Thank
You too.
you.
Thank you.